Hello, Bronco fans and football fans alike. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown, Friday, May 7th, 2021. I am your host, Bronco Bill. Let's get right into the news that I have to bring you. It's regarding actually two different topics, the Denver Broncos and Arron Rogers / Green Bay Packers. Now, before I get into any of that, you guys may see me drink some water from time to time. I'm just getting over bronchitis, and I cough from time to time, so I don't want to. I want to get this video done, and I may have to do it from time to time, stopping drinking a little bit of water. Hope you guys understand. Before I get into the Bronco news, a little touch on the post draft, and the post draft is. The Broncos drafted 10 players, and 7 of those 10 players are on the defensive side. And that's all well and good, but I feel that a lot of that was influenced by Vic Fangio. Now, that's not a bad thing per se, although the Broncos, they need an offensive lineman, and we need help definitely need quarterback, which we didn't draft. So I'm hoping that something's in the works down the line. Now, it's great to get our defense because we have we got a defensive lineman, we got a linebacker, we got some corners, a safety. So we definitely did build up our long-term players at those positions. But we didn't address the offensive line, and we did not address quarterback, which we had a shot, and I mentioned that in my last video. So let's move on to the news that I have regarding the Broncos, Arron Rogers, and the Packers. First off, the Denver Broncos released 2 players. One of them was Jeff Driscoll, quarterback, third string at best quarterback. Didn't really play all that much when he was with the Broncos. Wasn't really a viable future, that's for sure, behind Locke, and definitely wasn't going to beat out Teddy Bridgewater. So the Broncos saved some money there. They felt it was best to release him and to capture that money that they saved, and let him see if he can pick up a position or a backup position with another team. They also released Jeremy Cox, a fullback and running back combination. The Broncos' offensive scheme doesn't really feature a cornerback. When there are 2 people in the backfield, it was usually Gordon and Lindsey, but they very, very rarely used a fullback to block in front of Gordon or Lindsey. That basically has gone by the wayside when it comes to this particular offense that the Broncos are running. So they felt it was in their best interest to release Jeremy Cox and free up some money there. And by freeing up money from Driscoll and from Cox, they were able to sign a former Jacksonville Jaguar tight end in Eric Sobert. Now, Eric Sobert is a 5-year player, so he definitely has a lot of upside left. He's really, really good on run blocking and pass blocking from the tight end position, and so that's really, really going to benefit Denver in their offensive scheme. He also fills a void that is needed desperately in the tight end room behind Noah Fant. Now, Noah Fant was is the number 1 tight end for the Broncos at the moment, but behind him you just have Albert O, who's tore his ACL last year. So we got to see how he performs in 2021. So it was very, very much needed to bring in a veteran in Eric Sobert. Now, we did draft a tight end late in the rounds, but he being a rookie, it was imperative that we brought in a veteran tight end that could solidify that position and that room and that leadership in that area. So that was a great, great move. Now, the Broncos did add 11 undrafted free agents to their team. They range from wide receiver to linebacker to offensive guard and tight end. Now, that's great because we need an offensive guard, but we did draft the wide receiver, and we did draft the linebacker, and we did draft the tight end. So they're coming in to basically see if they can make the team, if they can push the people that are there now, and possibly, if nothing else, be on the practice squad that is very, very, very valuable when it comes to players being injured, out for the season, IR, whatever the issue may be. That practice squad is a very, very valuable asset to the team. So that's great that they brought in those 11 players, and hopefully 4 or 5 can make the team. That'd be great. I'd really like to see that. We have Juwan James information, and Juwan James, in my opinion, is a complete disaster. A complete disaster. He held out last year because he was afraid of getting the virus during the 2020 football season, and I can't really fault him for that up front. But in the bigger picture, 53 other guys made the team, and 53 other guys were on the team. And the Broncos never really had any serious issues with the virus on their team. Yes, they had issues with the quarterback room and not wearing a mask and getting suspended. I get that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actually getting the virus, being out and away from the team for 14 or more days, not traveling, not working out, not anything. The Broncos really didn't have that type of an issue in a situation. Yet Juwan James held out. Now, I've learned that Juwan James tore his Achilles tendon on a workout away from the Broncos facility. Now, if you remember, about a month ago or so, there was a voluntary OTA, which is organized team activities. That was voluntary, and there was 20 plus Bronco players that attended that, including Drew Lock. So if Juwan James really wanted to be a part of this team, he could have been part of those voluntary OTAs. But he didn't. He didn't volunteer. He didn't show up. He didn't work out with the Broncos organized or voluntarily on their practice field, at their facility. But instead, he did it away from the Broncos facility. I don't know what caused his Achilles tendon to tear. Was he actually doing football work, or was he playing with his kids? Was he doing pickup basketball, or skiing, or whatever? We don't know. That wasn't mentioned. All that was mentioned was simply this: that he had suffered an injury away from the Broncos facility that resulted in a torn Achilles tendon. Well, the Broncos say that because he didn't do it at their facility and under their jurisdiction and their watchful eye, that they don't have to pay him his $10 million that's owed this year. I agree. There's rules that people have to follow. I have to follow rules at work. You have to follow rules at work. We have to follow rules on the road, or there's consequences. Or there should be consequences, but in the NFL, there is consequences. And one of the consequences is you don't work out in our facility and get hurt. It's like workman's comp, guys. If I get hurt away from work, I don't get paid for workman's comp because it didn't happen at work. It happened away from work. Same with this. It happened away from the Broncos facility and under their watchful eye and their care, and therefore he's injured, and now he wants to get paid his $10 million. You got to be kidding me. Really? You know, if that's the way it works, maybe I should go get injured away from work and see if I can get workman's comp. Doesn't work that way, guys. And it shouldn't work here. But we all know that the NFL, the players, and the situation, there's going to be a dispute against this, and it already is happening. He's already filed for, he already went to the NFL office to see if they can overturn this and he can get his money paid. Why? He's not helping the Broncos one bit. Why should he get paid? It's stupid. It's idiotic. It doesn't make sense. I hope he doesn't get paid. I hope they release him. He's not doing a benefit at all to the Denver Broncos and hasn't for the last year since he held out. So I say no. I say good riddance. I hope we cut you. We don't need you. You haven't been a help to the Broncos at all during your time here in Denver. Okay, now that takes care of the Juwan James situation. Now, the Denver Broncos are looking to bring in a few guys to fill Juwan James' spot. And rightfully so. They should. And like I said, I hope Juwan James is gone. So the Broncos are bringing in 4 or 5 different guys. I'm going to name 3 of them right now. 3 of the guys they're looking at is Robbie Massey, Eric Fisher, and Dennis Kelly. Now, I don't know much about these guys. I know that they played in the NFL. I know they come from other teams. I'm not really up on linemen per se. Sorry to say that they're usually a non-named factor when it comes to player personnel. It's just one of those known facts. It's just one of those things. But they're bringing him in, and they're give him a workout and see which one. Hopefully they can land. I'd really like to see Bobby Massey. I'm sorry. I've heard quite a bit about him. I know he's a very, very strong guard. That he's I believe, if I'm not mistaken, last year he only gave up 1 sack in the 14 games or 15 games that he played. In years before that, when he played in 14 or 15 games, I believe he gave up 1 or 2 sacks. So he's really, really solid on the offensive line. So I'd really like to see Bobby Massey make the team. I think that'd be great. All right, now let's move into some Arron Rogers information and news here. This is really, really interesting as it pertains to the Denver Broncos quarterback situation. Now, the Denver Broncos are still actively pursuing Arron Rogers should he become available. Although the Broncos, have Bridgewater and Drew Lock, Rogers would make the Denver Broncos an instant playoff contender due to his experience, the Broncos' offensive weapons, and just the simple fact that Arron Rogers is coming off an MVP season by throwing 50 touchdown passes. Now, just like John Elway brought in Peyton Manning, if George Payton can bring in Arron Rodgers, the Denver Broncos will be on the same road to do what Peyton Manning did for 4 years. Arron Rodgers will be on that same path to do the same thing. So the Broncos are not giving up on Arron Rodgers. And I have to feel and believe that that's why they did not draft a quarterback. The reason why is because if they draft a quarterback in the first round at number 9, which they had a chance to get Justin Fields, everybody would be saying, you got to play him. It's your first round draft pick. It's the number 9 pick overall. You've got to start him. He's the franchise quarterback. You can't bring in anybody else. We got Teddy Bridgewater. We're not going to go down the Arron Rodgers pathway. I'm saying if the Broncos are still all in on Arron Rodgers and hopefully trying to get him, that's the reason why they did not draft the quarterback. So as much as I was, pounding my angry side as to why we didn't take Justin Fields, well, obviously I'm not a GM, and maybe that's why George Payton is the GM, because he knows a heck of a lot more than I do. Now, the Green Bay Packers are apparently really ticked off at the 49ers and the Broncos for contacting Arron Rodgers about him not wanting to play for the Packers. The Green Bay Packers front office says that the 49ers and the Broncos tampered illegally by talking to Arron Rodgers about an issue with a player that was still under contract. Now, it's not the Broncos' fault or the 49ers. I'm not even going to talk about the 49ers because I don't care. It's not the Broncos' fault for contacting Rodgers when the information was out that Arron Rodgers did not want to play for the Packers. So if a player comes out and says they don't want to play for a team and they're willing to hold out or retire or do whatever, how is that the fault of the Broncos for contacting him and seeing if it's actually true? Why not? If Rodgers isn't happy, why not ask him if he really is serious about holding out, or if it's a bluff, or if he's trying to pull the wool over the Packers front office eyes or whatever? Why not try and find out? They're not tampering in the sense that they're offered him a contract. That would be tampering above and beyond. They didn't do that. All they did was contact him to see if it was true. But of course, the Packers front office is pissed off because they say, well, they're tampering. Well, so be it. The Packers are just upset because Rodgers wants out. I don't blame them. Packers never told them that they drafted a quarterback last year. They weren't going to tell them that, and they didn't tell them that. Excuse me, guys. So the bottom line is, the Broncos really didn't tamper with talking to Arron Rogers. That's perfectly fine. Now, let's finish up with the Broncos here. I can get off this video and not interrupting with my coughing. I apologize again, guys. Now, Arron Rogers and the Green Bay Packers the Green Bay Packers front office is so desperate to keep Arron Rogers that they offered him more. Now listen to this. They offered him more than $45 million a year for the next several years. And Arron Rodgers turned it down. Now, $45 million a year, that is what Patrick Mahomes is getting for 10 years. For $450 million is what Patrick Mahomes is getting. $45 million a year. Arron Rodgers was going to get more than $45 million a year. And he turns it down. Does that tell you something, guys? What that tells me is Arron Rodgers isn't going to take any amount of money from the Green Bay Packers because he doesn't want to play for him. And the reason why he doesn't want to play for him is because he felt like they betrayed him. They drafted a quarterback behind his back without telling him. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafted a quarterback this year, but they told Tom Brady that they were going to draft him. And Tom Brady said, that's fine. That's cool. I can deal with it. If he thinks he can beat me out, so be it. But the Packers did not inform Arron Rodgers that they were going to draft a quarterback. They did it behind his back. And what message would that send you or me if we were in that situation? That would tell me that my time with them is short. Well, not only that, but Arron Rodgers wanted to work out a long-term deal with the Packers. And they said no. It was basically year to year. Again, what does that tell you? That tells me that the front office of the Packers is not serious about keeping Arron Rodgers. Oh, wait a minute. Only are they serious when Arron Rodgers said he didn't want to play for him. Oh, now they want to pay him more than $45 million a year. Yeah, that's because they realize he's serious. And now they realize they screwed up. Well, guess what? That just opened up the door for the Broncos to make a serious move to the front office and the general manager of the Green Bay Packers to make that trade. Why not? Arron Rodgers is not going to play for him. If he holds out and eventually his contract's up at the end of the year, at the end of 2021, then he's a free agent in 2022. And the Broncos haven't lost anything. They didn't draft a quarterback. We'll ride this season with Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock, and may the chips fall where they may. And then next year, when Arron Rodgers is a free agent, the Broncos can swoop right in, give him what the money he wants, and not have to give the Packers anything in draft choices or players or anything. So the Packers are really they don't have a leg to stand on at this point. They had better hope that their quarterback Love can fill the gap, because Arron Rodgers is not going back. And in my opinion, if Arron Rodgers goes back with his tail between his legs, that's going to send a bad message to the rest of the team that he's on, and to the rest of the league for saying, we can't believe you, we can't trust you. So at this point in time, Rodgers has to hold out. He has to walk away from the Packers. And with that said, the Broncos are sitting perfectly on a gold mine. They are sitting absolutely in the captain's seat. And right there for the taking is Arron Rogers. Guys, the grass is going to be greener on the other side if he comes on over. That's all I can say. So let's just ride out 2021 season. Let's hope for the best at quarterback. And hopefully the Packers do the right thing and release Arron Rodgers or make a trade. Because I have a feeling George Payton has put together a mighty, mighty pretty package. Hey, Green Bay, you'd be stupid not to take it. Because Rodgers is serious. That's it, guys, what I got for the news. Let me just wrap it up with the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche lost last Wednesday against the San Jose Sharks after a 2-0 lead. They lost 3-2. That really hurt because the Vegas Golden Knights, they came from behind and they beat the Minnesota Wild. Now, although it kept the Wild behind us in the standings, it also elevated them to a 4-point lead in the standings with 6 games to go. Tonight, beginning at 7 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Mountain time, the Colorado Avalanche are playing the Los Angeles Kings in Los Angeles, and the Las Vegas Knights are playing the St. Louis Blues in Las Vegas. So we got to cheer for the St. Louis Blues to beat the Knights, and the Avalanche have to beat the Kings. That's it, guys. Go Avalanche. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll talk to you next week. Have a great, great weekend, and we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.